All right, so this is the practice for solving systems by graphing. So let's start with number one. So number one, you have two equations here. The first one is y equals to 2x minus 3, and the second one is y equals to negative 3x plus 2. I've labeled them as green and blue equations just to make it easier. So the way you graph these is you use the slope-intercept form. So first thing, you find the y-intercept at each of them. So for the green one, the y-intercept is going to be right here, negative 3, right? It's whatever's by itself. And the slope is going to be whatever's in front of the x, which is the 2. And we're going to put it as a fraction, which means you're going to go up 2 to the right 1. For the blue equation, the y-intercept is the positive 2, and the slope is going to be the negative 3, and we put it as a fraction over 1, negative 3 over 1, which means down 3 to the right 1. And now we're going to go ahead and graph these. And you want to be accurate here, because what we're looking for is to see where these two lines intersect. So if you're not graphing this accurately, or you're not using a ruler, you're going to get some big errors. So for the green equation, you're going to start at negative 3, which is down here. And then the slope tells us to go up 2 to the right 1. And we'll do it one more time, just to make it easier to graph. And then we're going to go ahead and graph it to the best of our ability. That's not bad. And then we're going to go ahead and graph the blue equation. That has a y-intercept of 2, so it starts at 2. And then slope tells us to go down 3 to the right to 1. So that's our first point. And then down 3 to the right 1. That's another point right there. And then let's go ahead and graph it. All right, and now we're going to see where these two lines intersect. And they happen to intersect right here, which is at x is 1 and y is negative 1. So it's going to be 1, negative 1, and that is your solution. That is the solution that fits both of the equations for number 1. So let me know if you have any questions. Pause this if you need to, and let's go ahead and move on to number 2. Let me set up for that. All right, for number 2, you have y equals to negative 5 over 3x plus 1. And you have y equals to negative 1 over 3x minus 3. All right, it's pretty simple. The y-intercept for the green equation is the 1, or the positive 1. And the slope is the negative 5 over 3, which means go down 5 to the right 3, right? Okay. For the blue equation, the y-intercept is negative 3. And the slope is going to be the negative 1 over 3, which means go down 1 to the right 3. Okay, so let's graph these. So for the green equation, we're going to start at y at 1. That's our y-intercept. And then slope tells us to go down 5 to the right 3. So down 5 to the right 3. And I'll do it one more time, down 5 to the right 3. There we go. You may not have room to do 2, but I'm just doing it so I can get a good line. The more points you have, the better line you're going to create, generally speaking. Okay. It's probably not even the best line, but it'll do. For the other one, the blue one, we are going to start at negative 3. And then we're going to go ahead and go down 1 to the right 3. Go down 1 to the right 3. And I can even do it one more time. Go down 1 to the right 3. And now we're going to go ahead and graph this one. You can already see where they're going to intersect because they have a shared point. But all right, so they are going to intersect right here. And that happens to be at x is 3 and y is negative 4. So your solution is 3, negative 4. And that is number 2. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Pause this if you need to, and let's set up for number 3. For number 3, you have two equations, and number 3 is a little weird. So y equals to negative x plus 1, that's not the weird one, and then x equals to 3. So let's do the green one, because that one is pretty normal. So the y-intercept here is going to be just a positive 1, right? And the slope is going to be the negative or the negative 1. So we can say it's negative 1 over 1. So go down 1 to the right 1. Now the blue one, it's a little weird. It doesn't really have a y-intercept. Doesn't really have slope either. It's weird because there isn't a y. So if there's no y, you can't even do the slope-intercept form. And I didn't really tell you exactly in class how to deal with these problems. If this was y equals to 3, you would just do a straight line through y at 3. But x equals to 3, it's just a straight line from x at 3 that goes up and down. Now, up and down lines don't have slope, which is why this one doesn't have slope. So I'm just gonna draw this one. If you were able to figure it out, that's great. If not, well, that's okay. It's one of those weird challenge bonus problems. So that's the blue one. The green equation we are gonna be able to normally do. We start off at y at 1, and then the slope is go down 1 to the right 1. So here, 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 and then we're gonna graph them. Weirdly enough, they do have a solution in common because they do intersect. So that's good. They intersect right here. So even though, again, it's a weird problem, it does have a solution. And the solution happens to be at x is at 3 and y is at negative 2. So 3, negative 2 is the solution here. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really work because there is no x or y for the blue equation. So again, which is why it's a little broken, but this will work for the green equation. That solution will work for the green equation. Again, this is a weird problem. Technically, you can say there is no compatible solution, but they do intersect at some point. So yeah, this one's a strange one. So, but that's the best we can do with number 3. We're gonna move on to number 4 now. So pause this if you need to, but here we go with number 4. Thankfully, number 4 is a pretty standard problem. So we're back to just good old normal, non-weird problems. We like that. Okay, so the y-intercept for the green equation is going to be just the 1, the positive 1. And the slope is going to be the 4. And we're going to put it as a fraction, so it'll be up 4 to the right 1. And for the blue equation, the y-intercept is going to be the negative 2. Remember, the negative goes with the number. And the slope is going to be whatever's in front of the x. Well, there's nothing, but how many x's are there? It's a 1x, right? So it's a 1, make it a fraction, 1 over 1, which means up 1 to the right 1. And now we can graph. So we're going to start with the green equation. So the y-intercept there is 1, and the slope tells us to go up 4 to the right 1. Up 4 to the right 1. All right, let's graph it. Let's make a graphical representation of this equation. There it is. And now for the other one, the y-intercept is at negative 2. And the slope tells us to go up 1 to the right 1. So that's 1, that's 1, that's 1. So let's go ahead and graph this. All right, and where do they intersect? They intersect right here. And that happens to be x at negative 1 and y at negative 3. So negative 1, negative 3, and that happens to be your solution. So that's number 4. Let me know if you have any questions. Pause this if you need to. And let's go to the back side for number 5. Let's set up for that. So for number 5, you have y equals to negative 1 over 3 x plus 2, pretty standard equation, and y equals to negative 2x minus 3, another normal equation. Good. So the y-intercept for the green equation, the first one, is going to be just a 2. And the slope for the green equation is going to be the negative 1 over 3, which means down 1 to the right 3. For the blue equation, the second one, the y-intercept is going to be the negative 3. Remember, the negative goes with the number. And the slope for the blue equation is going to be the negative 2. Make it a fraction, which means go down 2 to the right 1. And now we're ready to graph them both. Let's start with the green equation. The y-intercept is at positive 2. And the slope tells us to go down 1 to the right 3, down 1 to the right 3. All right, let's go ahead and graph it. All right. This looks decent. And then for the other one, the blue one, the y-intercept is at negative 3, and the slope tells us to go down 2 to the right 1. Down 2 to the right 1. So let's go ahead and graph this one. There we go. And where do they intersect? Well, right back here, which happens to be at so x is at negative 3 and y is at positive 3. So negative 3, 3 is the solution for this particular system of equations. So let me know if you have any questions. Pause this if you need to, and let's go ahead and set up for number 6. For number 6, another 2 normal equations, yay. Okay, so for the green one, the first one, the y-intercept is going to be positive 3, right here. So just a 3. And the slope, sloppy slope, is going to be the negative 1 over 4. Down 1 to the right 4. For the bottom equation, the blue one, the y-intercept is going to be the negative 2. And the sloppy slope is going to be the negative 3 over 2. So negative 3 over 2, which means go down 3 to the right 2. All right, so pretty normal stuff. Let's graph them. For the green equation, we're going to start at y at 3. And we're going to go down 1 to the right 4, which is here. Down 1 to the right 4, which is here. All right, let's graph it. Okay, be very careful with your graphing and always use a ruler. And then for the second one, the blue one, our y-intercept is at negative 2. And our slope is at down 3 to the right 2. Down 3 to the right 2. Okay. So let's graph this one. All right. And they will cross right here, which is at x is at negative 4 and y is at 4. So negative 4, 4 is your solution for number 6. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Pause this if you need to, and let's set up for number 7. Number 7 is slightly strange, not too bad, not as bad as number 3 was. Definitely solvable, but it has a bit of a quirk. So y equals to 4 over 3x minus 3, and then y equals to just 1. The green equation is the standard one. It's pretty easy. The y-intercept is -3, and then the slope is 4 over 3, which means go up 4, to the right 3. Now, the blue equation, the bottom one, well, it does have a y-intercept. It does have a number that's all by itself. That's just the 1. It doesn't have a slope. So there is no x's, 0 x's. So I'm just going to write that in, 0x, which means my slope is 0 over 0, which means it could also be like, 5 over 0, or like, -10 over 0. It could be anything. So that means I can move left, or I'm sorry, I keep doing this. I'm so sorry. So it could be like 0 over 5 or 0 over -10 or whatever the case may be, which means you're not allowed to go up or down, but you can go as far left and right as you can. So it's simply a straight line through y is at 1. Let's graph the top one first. We're going to start at -3, the green equation. And then we're going to go up for the slope. It's up 4 to the right 3. No, disappeared. So up 4 to the right 3. So that's that. Up 4 to the right 3. Yeah, that's this one. Yep, that looks good. Okay. So let's graph it. And then the other one is simply a line through y at 1, because my y-intercept is right here, and I'm just simply allowed to go as far left and right as I want. I can have as many points as I want, because my bottom number can change, but my top number can't. And because I don't know, because my top number is 0, I don't know what the bottom number is. So, but I do have point of intersection right here. They intersect right here, which happens to be at x is at 3 and y is at 1. So my solution is 3, 1. And it works, sort of, right? Yeah? I mean, there is no x for the second one, but when y is 1, it is 1, right? 1 equals to 1. There's just simply no x. I mean, if I were to plug in a 3 for the x, it would be 0 times 3, which would just become a 0. So technically speaking, it works. Yeah, that's number 7 right there. Let me know if you have any questions. Pause this if you need to. And we're going to move on to number 8. Set up for that. Last problem, number 8. This one's a pretty standard one, which is a good one to finish with. No drama, no llama. All right, for the green top equation, the y-intercept is just a -4. And the slope, that's our -2. Put it as a fraction over 1, which means go down 2 to the right 1. Okay, for the bottom equation, the y-intercept is just a +2. And the slope is the 4. So put it as a fraction over 1, and that means go up 4 to the right 1. All right, so let's graph these. So the green equation, the top one, the y-intercept is at -4, and the slope is go down 2 to the right 1, go down 2 to the right 1. All right, let's go ahead and graph it. Gonna do our best here. Okay. And then for the other one, the blue equation, the y-intercept is at 2, and the slope says go up 4 to the right 1. Yep, up 4 to the right one. All right, let's graph this one. And they do intersect right here. And that happens to be where x is 1 and y is -2. So x1, y -2, x always goes first. So that happens to be number 8. Let me know if you have any questions. Pause this if you need to, and we're done. Thank you.